The first few weeks, I made some of my best friends, but 2 of us were sexually assaulted before classes had even started.
I went to the Dean of Students' office, and she said, I just want to make sure that you don't talk to anyone about this.
That is The Hunting Ground. It premiered at the Sundance Film Festival, inciting heated debates, campus protests, and a probe of universities throughout the country, launched by the U.S. Department of Education. And tonight and tomorrow night, you have a chance to see that documentary yourself. Here to talk about the screening is the documentary producer Amy Ziering and Courtney Santana, founder of Survive to Thrive. Ladies, thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Amy, let's start with you. Tell us why you decided that this was something you needed to do.
Well, actually, the students told us it was something we needed to do. Kirby and I were working on a different film on assault in the military,
right,
and we were screening that on campuses. We had finished it. It was called The Invisible War. It broke the story of the epidemic of rape in our military, and then we went around to campuses. And every time we showed that film on campus, a student would come up to us and say, you know, this actually happened to me here. And there's a lot of similarities between what you pointed out going on in our military happened right here on this campus. And I was a mom then, and I had no idea. And I was like, so we started doing our own research and found out not only was what students were telling us as bad, but even worse. And so we started making this film.
Isn't that true? Because as parents, you want to make sure that you send your kids, especially little girls growing up to college, knowing that they are going to be safe. And to know that something like this is happening, unacceptable.
Unacceptable. And also what was so shocking is simply the university's response and the way the administration responds to these crimes. And so what I very much am glad you're doing this, and what I hope people do watch the film, because it has information that parents and students need to know, and they're just not getting anywhere else.
Absolutely.
Have you watched the film?
Yes, I have.
Your thoughts and your story, because you have a personal connection.
I do. You know, my daughter is 18 and she's going off to college this year. So it was especially chilling for me because you want to protect your children. They're supposed to be going to a place where they are safe and they can trust the people that are around them. So, you know, as a domestic violence survivor, it was really important to me that my daughter, you know, see the film, understand the dangers, and keep her head on straight when she's on these campuses. The predatory nature of these groups and these people, it's terrifying.
How does your group help when it comes to survivors, for women who are speaking out about something like this happening to them?
Absolutely. I think it's necessary for us to continue to cultivate that voice. The silence is what kills the movement, and I think it's awesome to have films like this that support advocacy for the students. I mean, otherwise they wouldn't have it. Like she said, these are things that we don't talk about, and they're discouraged, and it's almost like they're being threatened if they do speak about it. Right. And that's not right. So we need to speak up.
And Amy, we were just talking during the break. This is not a subject that is easy to talk about, right? You don't want to know that this is happening, but it is happening, and that is why these women are so brave to speak out.
Yes.
Has this changed the culture at all?
Absolutely, it has, and it's changing culture campus on campus and with every screening. I mean, people come up to us and say, thank you, you know, you've changed my perspective on this issue, and you've helped protect, you know, and students say, thank you, now I have more information and I really know what I'm getting into and how to handle, you know, these environments and how to handle myself in these situations. So yeah, I mean, we are seeing change.
Yes.
You know.
Change with women speaking out. But what about change in the schools? What about the universities?
It's going to take time. I mean, some have come forward and said, look, we need to do better. Some have seen the film as a wake-up call and they're accepting it. Others are being more resistant and reluctant. We know with revelation always comes a little pushback. But I'm hopeful. I mean, I think the tide is turning in our culture, and we are seeing people, and what I guess what you said, what someone else asked me earlier was, what do I most hope? I most hope that people really start to believe survivors. Yes. I mean, I know that sounds so basic, but unfortunately with this crime, unlike any other, that's not the first instinct. And 92 to 98% of the time when someone reports a rape, they're telling the truth, and that's consistent with all other crimes in our society. So we have to start really understanding that and believing survivors. That's sort of square one.
It is screening tonight. It is screening tomorrow. There's information on our website at the Alamo Drafthouse of how you can still get out there and get your tickets. Thank you.
Thank you
for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.